Witam Państwa serdecznie, Błażej Hrabkowicz. Jesteśmy na 25. edycji festiwalu Camerimage w Bydgoszczy and our guest is esteemed actor and director now, John Carroll Lynch.
It's nice
hello.
to be here. Thank you. Hello.
Are you okay? Everything all right?
Yeah, it's great.
Your second time in Poland, or
In a very short time.
Yeah, but you're beginning, to become a frequent visitor here. We're very glad.
I'm really falling in love with Poland. That is not a joke. It's a beautiful country.
We think so also. Of course, you made your first film, Lucky, very recently, and we'll come to that. But first, I'd like to ask you about your acting career. And there was a fantastic Polish actor called Roman Wilhelmi who had a theory or a way of working. He said he read the script, he picked 3 points when he thought he had to, just take a punch and be very to build the character, and then the rest of the film is just convincingly being on the screen. And I'm wondering what's your take on that, in terms that you probably are best known for supporting actor, and maybe for supporting actors it is more important even to be able to condensate your acting. What do you think about that?
I think it's an interesting way of looking at a script. It's not it depends on the script, obviously. I do think that there are levels of, you do have to choose your moments in order to understand a character. But when you're playing a supporting character or when you're playing a lead, either way, what you're trying to do is create a person that is believable to the audience. And that's your first job. The rest of it is about what the needs of the story are. So I don't know that I would just hold it to 3, but then again, I'm not exactly sure. I should pay attention to this person's work. He sounds very good.
Yeah. What I meant also is that maybe if you're a supporting actor, you get less scenes to sort of make your impact on the film, to build the believable character, and maybe this is the thing that you have to be aware of.
Yeah, I think that the supporting parts in films, the being is the primary thing you're searching for, because they create the environment and the world of the entire piece. There are actors that I watch that when they come on screen, I relax because I know I'm in very good hands and I know they'll help create the world. Yeah. There's another thing too, which is you shouldn't try to make an impact. It should just happen. Okay.
It should be effortless and seamless.
If you're pushing to make an impact, likely whatever you're pushing to do will be cut from the film.
Because it doesn't. It's not in sync with the movie.
Because it's not helping the story. It's trying to aggrandize the character. I really think that there are actors who just inhabit roles and they just make movies better. And the actors, especially in supporting parts, that are trying to point at themselves are likely not going to be doing it for very long.
Were you worried, or maybe are you still worried about typecasting? Because I remember I first saw you in Fargo by the Coen brothers, brilliant piece of work, and you're playing the good guy there, so good that even boring, which I think was the intention of the Coen brothers.
I think you're exactly right.
So, but on the other hand, you played a couple of bad guys in your career. So, were you worried at some point that you were typecasted as, on the one hand, this very good and honest guy, and on the other hand, like, I don't know, gangster or whatever?
I think that the fear of being typecast is a real one, because the tendency is to let people play one thing at a time. I've had the good fortune of throwing a few sociopaths into the mix, as well as playing people who are decent and loving people. I love the opportunity to play a wide variety of human experience, and I've had that opportunity because directors have relied on me and trusted me to do that for them. It would be difficult if I were stuck playing one part. But I mean, it seems to me that at this point I'm being given the opportunity to do very difficult parts, ones that are tricky, ones that you need to have the possibility for danger as well as the possibility for decent human behavior and heroism.
Recently, I've seen you in terms of movies in The Founder, in which you play the real founder, one of the two real founders of McDonald's, and it is a great story about really American capitalism in a way that which was built on exploiting the work of the real work of people by some other guys. Was it the main thing about this film that drew you to it? That this is a story about America first and foremost?
The screenplay was really good because you could root for Ray Kroc for a while, the Michael Keaton character, and then you suddenly realize, oh, he's a terrible person.
Yeah, he is.
I really should stop rooting for him.
Yeah.
The interesting part about that from an American point of view for me is that the McDonald's brothers were extremely successful. They were millionaires, and suddenly with the advent of the success of Ray Kroc and others at that time, being a millionaire looks like a failure. Because if you only gauge worth and value on money, then $1 million isn't nearly enough.
Yeah.
If you gauge success and value on community, on service, on a sense of responsibility, both in terms of quality and in terms of how you treat the world, that's a different characterization, a different quality of success. And I think that the thing we've gotten to now, and this is not just an American problem,
global problem,
it's a global problem, that our image of success is someone who is completely free of any social responsibility to do anything good other than to amass massive amounts of money. I think that's a poor set of choices we're making.
Yeah. You made your directorial debut very recently. The film is called Lucky. Was the transition from acting to directing seamless, or did you have any difficulties? What was the process here?
Well, I had a very big learning curve to understand, to get an experiential understanding of things that I knew happened in films but had never been a part of.
By observing the great directors you worked with?
It's like observing somebody fly a plane and then flying a plane. You know?
Doesn't sound easy.
No, it wasn't an easy transition in that way. But the storytelling aspects of it are exactly the same. The responsibility to tell the story is true as an actor and as it is as a director. The difference is where you're standing. Telling a story from an actor's point of view is engaging in the subjective relationship of the character to the story. And the director's point of view is objective in terms of being outside of the story. But the interesting part is you are placing the audience exactly where you want them to be, both physically and hopefully emotionally. So it's as subjective in its own way as acting is.
One last thing, Harry Dean Stanton. I think the casting for a director in a film, the casting is really important. Not only because of the fact that the actor must, be able to play the part, but also the actor brings, especially this kind of experience and legendary actor, brings a whole set of values, ideas, and tradition with him. You must have been aware that he is an icon of some point when you were directing him, and the films he played, he played in the legend that he is.
Absolutely. I mean, I think everybody in the world, if they love films, has grown up with Harry Dean Stanton. They've seen him for literally their entire lives. He had a 60-year career. I have known his work for years, and I met him socially, which was a joy. He was exactly as you expected him to be. But working with him on this film, which is inspired by him, was a very gratifying, and I was grateful for the opportunity. But I also feel like it was a very tricky acting job for him, because he had to bring his own life into a fictional context and rearrange the relationship. It's a very tricky bit of business for an actor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.